beyond dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you EMF radiation levels that are far above what is considered safe. I mean, this is wild. This is mind-blowing. This is a EMF Rf Meter AM10. It's an acoustic meter. It's specifically designed to pick up microwave radiation. The microwave radiation frequencies that it picks up, it also detects via sound. So if you want to listen to yourself being cooked, it's a wonderful way. You just turn it on. Oh, actually, have you ever listened to radiation before? Do you want to listen to it? Well, let me turn it on for you real quick. Check this out. You're going to hear different sounds. The different sounds emitted are different types, different frequencies of radiation. Now, this is going to show you the micro or the milliwatts per square meter. And then on the other side, you're going to see the peak levels. And I want to talk about it with you for a minute. I just wanted to turn this on real quick. Okay, so let me share a bit of information with you real quick. Before I do that, let me make sure that the everything coming in okay, the sound good. Do we have sound? Do we have video? Sounds like bacon frying. Okay, so you can definitely hear it then, right? So let me just share with you, let me give you a brief introduction on this device, because I've had several EMF detectors in the past, and this one is by far the best one that I was even able to find. It's specifically designed for microwave radiation testing, and it will go into the lower frequencies all the way up to 8 gigahertz. Currently, the technologies that are available via Wi-Fi, most of them are below 8 gigahertz. Now, there are a few out there, like for example, Verizon is running a 5G ultra band special microwave opportunity at 13 stadiums across the nation. They're going to roll out this ultra 5G super duper Wi-Fi, get it while you can. And it's only going to be available at certain locations in these arenas because they can't even fill up the entire arena yet. So I think that's pretty good news. But let me share just a bit of this with you. Where should I start here? So first of all, the typical specifications for those of you out there that are tech junkies, this will pick up everything from 200 megahertz, which is 2 million hertz, up to 8,000 megahertz, which is 8 gigahertz. It has a measurement range of 0.02 to 6 volts per meter. And the average, if you want to look at the average numbers, it's going to show you the average and the peak. I'm going to turn it on again. You can see the average and the peak numbers. It will give you the average numbers in microwatts per square meter. In a moment, I'm going to show you what different studies say are considered safe and reasonable. And then when I show you what the levels are here in the basement, you're going to say, wow, it is a good thing you're a reptilian shapeshifter. Otherwise, you might be feeling a little bit. Now, I want to ask you a question too. I mean, do any of you out there hear ringing in your ears on a regular basis? Are you sensitive to EMF radiation? Some of you have sent me emails that say you think you're targeted in some way. I've got many emails of people that think they're targeted in some way. A lot of individuals work and live around wireless technology, power lines, cell phones, hotspots, routers, other devices that use microwave frequencies. And a growing number of people, including myself, have concerns about these electromagnetic frequencies and the levels that they're emitting. So if you are exposed to EMF radiation on a regular basis, some people notice they can actually feel it. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever been underneath power lines or close to a cell tower for a long period of time and you started to feel a little aggravated? You just felt off a little bit? So I've personally spent thousands of dollars on equipment that tests different types of radiation, not just EMF radiation, but also radioactive isotopes. I've picked up 3 different EMF detectors along the way. Once again, this one is by far the best. And we're going to spend some time actually just listening to these different frequencies. But I turned this on and I walked around the house, and this thing was pretty high in most places in the house, except for the bedrooms. And when I went outside, it stopped. I mean, when I went outside, it just dropped all the way to the bottom, but I had to walk I don't know, 30 feet away from the house. So this thing is very sensitive, and it's kind of spooky once you see how high these levels are. And I'm also going to show you, some different things that I am using. So I've got one of these over my router now. I've got one literally on top of the router, but the router, you've still got 2/3 of the router exposed. So I went and did some testing with these liners. And when I put the liner on the top and I wrapped the liner, I've got a Nephilim liner also, which is a bigger liner. When I put the 2 liners on there, it dropped it. Wow. I don't know what the percentages are, but just the one on top dropped it, I would say, percentage-wise, well over 90%, just putting one on the very top. But then when I put one on the top and then I wrapped it around, it dropped it even farther. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to do some tests. We're going to do some different tests. I've got one of these sleeves. I want to show you how effective these sleeves are for your phone. If you've got a phone, you put your phone in this thing. I did a test the other day where I put my phone in here. My phone was hooked up to my Bluetooth, and it was still giving me sound. It was still giving me music. So I'm like, okay, so there's still some kind of signal coming through. But then what I found out was I actually put my phone in the wrong area, because this has got 2 different locations here. So your phone's supposed to go in here. You see this? This is all fabric specifically designed to block the EMFs. I put the phone right here. So it was being blocked on this side, but not here. So it's still getting a signal from there. When you put it in here, your Bluetooth, immediately, if you got a Bluetooth hooked up to something, it's gone. You're not going to get a phone call. You're not going to get any reception. It shuts it down. You get no reception. It's pretty cool. I was really impressed with how well this works. I'm going to show you how effective these are also. But the liners are great. The liners are great. I've got one in my cap right now, you can see, and it has 2 different fabrics. That's what I like about these liners. As Julian and I spent some time, he's the architect, we said, look, how do we put together something that's going to block different frequency ranges, not just one specific? Because there's a multitude of electromagnetic frequencies that are bombarding your body, especially if you're working around other people, if you're in an apartment complex, a condo. How many of your neighbors have routers, smart meters, cell phones, devices that emit wireless frequencies? So we're like, what are we going to do about it? Let's quit complaining about it, because clearly the MFers, they're making lots of money, and people still know the possibilities. And a lot of people, I feel, even know that don't admit it. Some of the dangers that are associated with constantly being bombarded to high levels of radiation. Some people just don't like to admit it. Hey, I get it. And there is that mind over matter thing. So your mind is very powerful. Focus good thoughts as well. And it's clearly not the end of the world. We're still here. We're still doing amazing. What are some things we can do, though, to make a difference? So a lot of people think that they are exposed to targeting on frequencies. And they've asked me if certain liners like these help. And I don't know, because I haven't had to go through that. I have some people that have sent me emails after that said it's done really good for them, but they still have opportunities. So it's not like it's a magical device or anything like that. Will it help? I certainly hope so. But I want to talk about back to the acoustic meter here. So this acoustic meter will pick up up to 8 gigahertz. It'll go all the way up to 8 gigahertz, which is far above and beyond what most technologies are using now that people are around. Most of the stuff is below 5 gigahertz. Your router might have the opportunity to run at 5 gigahertz. A lot of people confuse that with 5G. That stands for 5 gigahertz, 5 billion hertz. Some people think that hurts a lot. Hello, no. So you use these different frequencies from 800, 2.5 gigahertz, all the way up to 29 gigahertz and beyond with the new 5G spectrum. The new 5G spectrum wants to use frequencies, 800 megahertz. That's going to be shooting out longer ranges. So you're not going to get as fast as the download speeds. And then when they go up and they turn it up into these higher frequency bands, they have to have these transmitters closer together, because if they're not closer together, they won't be able to pick up a signal. Trees, people, water, all of that can interfere with this super fast Wi-Fi that's at the very high frequency band. So Verizon is testing out 29 gigahertz for the ultra fast 5G band. I've heard AT&T wants to go up to 39 gigahertz. So we're talking some serious frequency levels here. So when you're dealing with devices that transmit frequencies above 2.5 gigahertz, They have to be placed closer together. Now, I want to show you, now that I've given you an idea about what these frequencies do, let me see if you have any questions for me thus far. Rex looks like he takes iodine. What the hell is that supposed to mean? No. Iodine? What? Hold on a second. I got to get a drink of water. I'll be right back. All right. So, all right, let's get back into this now. Let's get back into this. So, iodine, nobody's ever told me that before. I've heard Adderall, I've heard just about everything else, but iodine, I haven't heard that. So, here we go. Now, let's go back to the acoustic meter, this thing right here. I'm going to turn this back on real quick. It's maxed out. I'm maxed out right there. That's the peak levels, maxed out. That's the average levels. And then you can actually see staying pretty high. So right now we're having an average of over 1,000 microwatts per square meter. Over 1,000 microwatts per square meter. Wow. Wow. And my phone is like, where is my phone? I got my phone right now. My phone is right here. Check this out. Let's do a couple tests and then I'll go back into that. We'll mix it up a bit. A lot of people say, hey, shungite's amazing. Shungite's amazing. Shungite might be amazing. Sure, it is amazing. Sure, it's wonderful. However, some people think that shungite is somehow going to change the frequency, and it might. I don't know. I just haven't been able to verify this yet. So they say it takes the frequencies, like these higher frequencies, and it changes them so they're not as dangerous. Now, I've heard people say that. Now, I don't have anything that confirms that. Now, this is shungite right here. This is a bunch of shungite, and a really nice person gave me this at the UFO conference in Yelm, and I thank you very much for that. So thank you for the shungite. Also, this is beyond cool. This is made out of shungite and like orgonite and all this other stuff that makes it, you know, extra cool and glittery. And as you can see, it's a miniature Millennium Falcon. So very nice. Thank you. Will this block EMF radiation? I don't know. Let's find out. So let's turn this thing on. Boom. Hold on. Let's make this, let me do something real quick. Let me grab something. All right, I'm going to make a phone call now. I'm going to call Kristen upstairs. No. Actually, before I do, I want to show you something. So, all right, this isn't good, folks. Now, my router is 10 feet away from me. I have a router that's 10 feet away from me, but it's not even a 5G router. It's a basic, cheap router. It's less than 10 feet away, and you can see the amount of exposure that I am avoiding because I go through the quantum fields like a googolplexing amount of speeds. But most people, you know, if their router is 10 feet away from them, they might not think of that. So anyway, that's the amount of exposure. That's not good, in my opinion. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how cool these pouches are here. So like what I've done is I've basically turned mine into, I got a few bucks in here and stuff. And then my phone right here, if I need to make a phone call, so let me go ahead. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, I'm going to turn this on. This is on Bluetooth to my radio right there. So I've got this little jukebox right there. It's going to be Bluetooth. I'm going to turn this on and you're going to hear it playing. As soon as I put this in the device, it will stop playing because the signal drops. It doesn't get an EMF signal. When I pull it out, it's been in there for a few minutes. I take it out. It looks like my phone is off basically as far as the bands go. It has 0 service. And then it takes it a few seconds to actually pick up service again. So this is really cool. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do a test. You can see right now, bang. All right. This is strange Verizon 5G network rolling out in football stadiums and can't even cover entire arena. Recent podcast at Leak Project. Also, I want to let you know that Gaia, I've still got my friends over at gaia.com/Leak Project giving out free memberships. I don't know how long they're going to offer that. But I was scrolling through some of their podcasts the other day. They got some awesome stuff. They've got 7,000 or so podcasts and videos on different topics, great guests. They've got everything from the electric universe to astronauts from ancient times, everything in between, yoga stuff, spiritual, really good stuff. And yes, there's stuff that you might not want to watch. And that's what's so cool about it. There's like 7,000 things to watch. So if you like half of it, and right now you get that free membership, that's what I'm talking about. So Gaia.com/Leak Project. Check it out. Okay, so let's do this. You ready? All right. Here we go. Hi, I'm Rex Bear, and there's this weird 5G rollout in 13 NFL stadiums. Why would you have a 5G rollout at an NFL stadium? I don't know. 5G is supposed to be for faster download speeds. That's what I thought. So are you going to an NFL game to, I don't know, download something faster? I'm just trying to figure this out. These glasses are the wrong glasses. Let me get the. Where'd he go? Where'd Fex go? Fex! Fex! They're concerned about the 5G rollout. Definitely paying attention to that. Pretty cool, right? Now it's playing on my phone because I pulled it back out. Pretty awesome. So you can do things to offset some of the madness. Now for this, you can pick these up if you go to tinfoilcap.co. You can get these at tinfoilcap.co. They're on sale right now for $30. And I've only got a few left. I actually showed these off yesterday and I'm almost out of stock. So if you want one, tinfoilcap.co. I don't know how long it's going to be before I get some new stock, but we do have a few of these left. And there you go. Now, I also want to go back to the acoustic meter now. Let's go back to this. Turn this on. Okay, so readings are shown on both an LCD display, 2 series of graduated LED lights, the LED updated rapidly. All right, this is what I want to show with you right here. Woo! Telling you, those EMFs, I love it. I love them. Some people love EMFs, I mean, I just figured, hey, I'm going to a football game and they're bragging about how fast I can download stuff on my phone. So are they telling me that I should watch the football game on my phone when I go to the football game? They're like, hey, guess what? The download speeds are so fast, you can watch the football game on your phone before you can watch it in real life. Because we've got your mind, sucker. All right, here we go. Check this out. This is wild. I know. I mean, if you're not crazy in this world, you're freaking crazy. So check this out. This is showing you the different colors and the different levels and what is considered safe and what isn't. And look at that. So we're all the way down to 1. Okay, 1. That was considered what should be the maximum level outside. 1, folks. 1. 5. They then raised it to 5. They then raised it to 10. 10 microwatts per square meter. 10 microwatts per square meter. Now, I was showing you, let's see. Okay, so if you're outside, right? If you're outside and you're getting exposed to 10 microwatts per square meter, there's certain studies that say, that's max. There were studies 20 years ago that said, no, you don't even want it that high. Now let's go on to see what it's like in the house. This is hanging out over 1,000, folks. And this is picking up microwave radiation. This isn't picking up the lower frequency bands that are below microwaves, okay? So microwaves. Woo, I'm wondering why I'm feeling so good. They said it was good for microwaving me. They said it would feel good. So I said, all right, do I get faster download speeds? I mean, that is wild. Okay, should be around 10. What are we hanging out at? Look at that. And they say I'm crazy. Well, excuse me for having energy. They're like, dude, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you is the question. So now, go ahead and turn this off. Let me read to you what should be or what is considered safe inside homes. This was a study that came out by Seisberg in 2002. Max inside homes. 1. Seisberg, look it up. Seisberg study of 2002. What is considered safe levels? Max inside the homes. 1. And then in 2012, 10 years later, they go on to say, well, this is outside. The Bio Initiative goes on to say in 2012, max background levels, 5. Then you go back to the Seisberg. It's Seisberg, potato. Seisberg, 2002, max outside of houses, 10. So they say outside, it's okay to be higher outside than it is inside, according to the study. 10 outside, 1 inside. Well, we're just looking at over 1,000 like it's just, hey, man, what are you doing today? I'm getting microwave. What are you doing, bro? I'm going to a football game and get microwave there because, I can watch football on my phone there. It's really cool, man. I mean, it's this really cool marketing ploy. We're spending tons of money on this marketing, man. Okay, so now if you go to the Maximum and Public Area Guidance Bio Initiative of 2007 and Seisberg, 1998, they show the levels up to 1,000. Will you just look at it? So 1,000 outside. All right. Now, if we scroll up now to 25,000, let's scroll up to 25,000. I know I'm still working on it. Got a ways to go. But when you're organic and when you ride like a maniac, I pedaled 40 miles yesterday on the Cervelo. Not bad, right? 40 miles out here in the San Juan Mountains. Did it in 2 hours and 9 minutes. So averaged out about 18 plus miles an hour. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Okay, anyway, I'm just saying. All right, so typical maximum levels in public areas near base station antennas can be higher than 25,000. Could be higher than 25,000. As you can see that right there, okay? So I showed you an image via thumbnail. Showed you that thumbnail where I took this acoustic meter next to the router, and this thing was hitting over 20,000. Like it was nothing. So regular router, not even 5G, not even a 5G router. So thank goodness they love us so much. What do the LED colors mean? Well, I don't know. What does red usually mean? Green, yellow, red. What does it mean? Can you tell me what that yellow, what does it mean when it's red and it's maxed out? I don't know what it means. I better read about it. Okay, so a peak signal strength is colored based on the levels that electrosensitive people can report as adversely affecting their health. Below 0.05 volts per minute, few people report ill effects. So these are green. Between 0.05 and 0.5 volt meters, some individuals report ill effects. So these are yellow. Above 0.5 volts per meter, nearly all sensitive individuals report experiencing adverse health effects. So these ones are red. The average power density scale LEDs are all orange in color. Oh, well, let's see what colors come on, man.
I don't know what color that is. Could somebody tell? I know what colors are. I'm not colorblind, but I don't know what color that is. Can somebody tell me? What does that say right there? Will you just look at it? Will you just look at it?
All right, so.
Red alert. This is a max level.
So, once again. Okay, so where should we go now? What should we talk about? Now, gee, look at this. Here's general public levels if you want to look at some different numbers there. They love us so much. They love us so much. The radiation levels, here, check this out. The best way to show you, because I'm in here with my router right there, let me show you something kind of cool. All right, so this is a new Nephilim. This is a Nephilim liner. This is a Nephilim liner. And these just got in stock. So I milled several of these out today. And I want to say thank you for your patience, because we just got these in. Now I've got some in stock. I've got some in stock now. It'll show that on the website. These are hand woven in the United Kingdom. They're put together by Julian, the architect. He uses 2 different fabrics. We got 2 fabrics specifically designed to block EMF radiation. Now, one of the fabrics blocks radiation, the EMF radiation, electromagnetic frequencies. It will block frequencies in the lower ranges. The other will block frequencies up to 30 gigahertz. So we're talking blocking the 5G stuff. Now, they are saying 5G in theory, they want it to be able to run up to 300 gigahertz. Now, what in the bleep are you going to do with 300 gigahertz? They're like, oh yeah, 300 gigahertz, man, but the voltage is really low, so don't worry about it. It's 300 freaking gigahertz. 300 gigahertz. I mean, that kind of stuff's used for radio astronomy, where they're trying to find little comets that are billions of miles in the universe. But now they want to give you faster download speeds with it, or do they? I don't know, but look it up. I mean, this is from Wikipedia. I mean, this is the stuff they're telling you about. And then you can cross-reference what they tell you via Wikipedia as far as the technical aspects, because you can look at the white papers. You can read directly from the manufacturers. Then you can go directly to see what frequency bands are being rented out, because they rent out these frequency bands. They get licenses for these frequency bands. The amount of smog that is presented is just mind-boggling for many. But anyway, so we've got these in stock now. Got them in stock. These are Nephilim liners. I've had Nephilim order these already. The Nephilim are like, we've got liners now too? Even the Nephilim don't want this stuff. The Nephilim are like, what's going on, man? The machine is taking over. They're like, wait a second. Now, that being said, if you are a part of the Jedis, you know, DJEDI or DJED, that's really deep. Somebody made a connection earlier. I'm going to bring this. Should I even bring this up? This is so next level. I'm going to hold off on that. It's kind of spooky. So anyway, the Nephilim liners, we got Nephilim liners now. All right, we got the Nephilim liners. This is what a regular size liner looks like. It's a regular size liner here. The 2 different fabrics. Give you an example. You go like that. You can walk around like this if you like. You know, if you just want to make a statement, just wear the liner. And if anybody gives you a hard time, you can be like, hey, you're making fun of me, but I mean, who's laughing at who? Is there, standing next, they're like on their phone. They're like, man, you got to look at this guy. They've been talking on their phone for 5 hours. The phone's so hot that it's like their hand is calloused from all the heat, but they've even got a big callus on their ear because they talk so much on their phone that it's just, anyway. And they're laughing at you. And you're like, oh yeah, it's funny. But anyway, so that's an option. Okay. You've got different style caps now. These really cool different style caps that I want to show you. So we've only got a handful of these. Most of the caps are limited edition runs. We want to give the cool factor. We want to give the collective factor. So Julian and myself, we decide what to bring out to the market. We test the products. We test the liners. And I'm going to show you in a minute how cool this liner is. I'm just going to wrap the liner around the EMF detector here, and you'll see how much lowers, because the radiation isn't going into the detector, and the sound. It's just wild how this picks it up by a sound. See that? Look at the difference. Boom. And I don't even have this whole thing covered. I just cover the top, and I can't cover the whole thing because I got to show you what the numbers are. Let's do it again. Whoa. Wow. All right, now let me look. Now let me look at this. Because I'm looking at the screen and I'm looking at you guys. All right. Wow. For a second there, I went down to 7. 96, 77, 72, 128, 100, 80, 50, 57, 73, 42, 39, 27, 20, 16, 26, 25, 31, 20, 34, 33, 215, 250, 380. Wow. Now it's hanging out 800, 1500. Boom. That's wild. Absolutely wild. Now, check this out. Hold on. I got an idea. Did it spike? Did it spike? You guys see that? Huge difference. Shungite, does it make a difference? Organite, shungite. Check this out. It's down to 5, 8, 10, 7, 10, 9. Over 1,000. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Just went down to 40. Down, just went down to 8. Look at that. 10 times the difference when I let those off. Wow. All right. So let me show you the options right now. This is, you could see right there when I just dropped it like that, boom, immediately spiked up. So the router is less than 10 feet away. Now, let me see if y'all have any questions right now. Let me see. What do we got here? Hardwire your router, not a bad idea. What else we got? Can you wrap your house? And sure you can. Just got to get the fabrics. What else we got? Someone says, I'm not watching if he tests on what scratch. Come on, man. Yeah. So copper, nickel, silver. Someone asked me if that's what the fabrics were made of. I know the fabrics have copper and silver in them. I don't know about the nickel. I'll have to double check on that. Hold on. Let's just keep this going. Do you want to see something crazy? This is what I should do. This is what we should do. I'm just going to unplug the computer. We're going to walk outside. I'm going to keep this thing on, and I'm going to show you the madness. This is mad. All right, here we go. You ready? Hold on. You guys saw Bigfoot out there. He's like, no, not like that one time though. Hold on a second. So
You are being electrocuted with microwaves. That's what we're telling you right now.
all right, so okay. If anybody's still here, that was a trip, right? So you know what I noticed? My computer, since we're doing this broadcast, is picking up the signal from the router. So even as I'm going out there, the levels are getting lower, but it's pinging me as I got to I was pretty close to the end of my backyard there where it connects to the national forest. And we're still getting a pretty good amount of radiation there. And I'm in the middle of southern Colorado. Like there's not a whole lot of people around me. There are not that many people around me. So to have that type of radiation out there, it's once again because they love us so much. They love us so much, right? If they didn't love us this much, could you imagine? Yeah, Luna. We'll get Luna one for her birthday. So yeah, you saw it. Any questions? Yeah, I was out there a little ways, wasn't I? Came up, Rex. Oh, man. Yeah, places in my house that I didn't think there would be any radiation whatsoever. It was picking up pretty substantial amounts of EMF levels. What I find interesting is geez, this is high. This shows such higher levels. Do you remember that last EMF detector that I had. It was a pretty nice one. I mean, it was a Cornet something. I don't remember what the model number was. Obviously not nearly as sensitive. And that thing would pick up frequencies up into the 9 gigahertz range, it said. But really, I don't know of anyone that has a device in their house that's pushing out more than 5 gigahertz. Your router might give you 5G, which is 5 gigahertz, not the 5G spec, not the other 5G. But that just hit 4,000. That just hit 4,000. Remember, I just showed you the study. We're like, oh yeah, safe levels in the house, 1. Safe levels in the house, 1. Well, we're hanging out, it's pinging at 4,000. So the peak volts per meter, it's hanging out around 5, 5.5. But why not, right? Why not? Wait until you get the 5G all around you. I mean, you think this is fun. It's going to get really fun with 5G. You ain't seen nothing yet, especially once I connected the dots with Osiris. Oops, did I just say that? I'm not going to get any more into that. Oops. But that being said, check out these caps real quick before I close out here. Because I got another podcast coming up in 43 minutes. So another podcast coming up in 43 minutes. Now here you go. Listen right here. This is the tinfoil cap edition stealth. The tinfoil cap stealth. Check out this awesome, like the way that it really has neat coloring to it, especially, yeah, look at that. So that's really cool. This is the tinfoil cap stealth. These come with liner. Now, here's the thing. If you want to get one of the nicer caps, these are handmade. These are very high-end industry grade fabrics. They all come with the liners, right? So even if you get one of the budget blockers, it's a really nice hat. It just isn't made out of the same fabrics. It isn't hand woven. These things, I think, take about an hour just to weave together after the fabrics are cut. And then you've got other things you got to do. I mean, there's so much precision in here. But these right here are the tinfoil cap edition, the tinfoil cap edition stealth. And we've only got, I think, I don't know how many of these we've got, but not a whole lot. These are all limited. I've only got a handful of these. Look at the bill on this one. This is the McFly tinfoil cap edition with the special bill here, where it's like a flat bill. It's got the same fabrics here at the top. And then also, I think I've got 3 of these left. I've got maybe 3 of these left. The gold edition. This is the gold edition. This is a gold edition. A gold edition. Tinfoil cap. So this is also one of my favorites. This is the McFly edition. This is the McFly that has this really cool like luminescence, as you can see, that's almost tinfoil looking. And this has a lot of interesting symbology hidden within this protective sigil. And then we've got the original tinfoil cap. This is the original tinfoil cap. This is really cool. And then if you want to get a budget blocker, this is the budget blocker. This is the Leak Project budget blocker. And you can get this with a liner. Comes with the exact same liner that the expensive hats come with. And this is going to be under $90. So get them while you can. These right here, this is the Leak Project budget blocker. And then we've got the tinfoil cap edition budget blocker. Once again, under $90 with the liner. And then let's see, do we have any other ones that I haven't shown you yet? What else we got here? There's these pendants that are called quantum pendants. I don't know how well these work yet, so I can't say that I've even tested these, but Julian said that this might be a good opportunity, and he's heard some good things about these. So you can check these out on our website. Also, tinfoilcap.co, tinfoilcap.co. You can pick yourself up these sleeves at tinfoilcap.co as well. And you put your phone in here and boom, your EMF signals are gone connecting to that phone. Gone. Even your Bluetooth signal won't pick up on it. So, and it's interesting because when I was testing the levels with my Cornet, when I tested with the Cornet, it showed such lower levels. This is such a sensitive machine. This is showing levels in some cases 5-10 times higher than what my other devices have shown. I mean, this is showing levels that are so high. I'm just like, wow, it's picking up these isn't that wild how it picks it up with sound and then it transfers that sound? You know what I should do one of these days is see if I can take that sound and put it into a certain program, or we can design a program that could decipher that sound into communication of some sorts. And do y'all have any questions for me? Let me read through some of these comments real quick here. Scratch says his brain isn't worth that much. He can't justify it. I love it. Love it. Yeah, this one that I'm wearing, these are going to be out soon. Right now, this is the only one that's in existence that I know of, unless Julian's got one. This is a carbon fiber. This is the carbon fiber edition, and we're working on these right now also. See here. Open my door and take a reading. Which door? The outside door? Let's do this. All right, I am going to let me put something over my router. I want to put something over my router real quick while I'm showing you this, okay? So I'm going to go in the other room. I'm going to put some of these liners over my router and tell me if the numbers drop. I'll be right back. I want to know if the numbers drop. So you got to write it down so when we get back, I'll know. How's it working? How's it working? Did you see a difference? How much of the difference did you see? We need to start doing some more tests and studies also where you can be in more controlled environments. So, I mean, you're seeing it spike from 400 to 5,900 and it's going all over the place. Someone says big difference, huge jumping, noise went down, it dipped down a bit, but then it spiked back up again. See, with the liners, if you're going to put a liner, what I did was I put the liner over the router and then I'm trying to hold it. So I put a Nephilim. Let me show you how I did it. I took the Nephilim liner and then I put them like that. And then I noticed before when I held it together, the levels went down. But once I let go, then the liners just kind of fall off. So what I really need to do is we need to make router specific. We need to make router specific liners. Or another thing is if you get a liner and you want to use it for your router, if you put it over your router, then you could use a bungee cord or something to wrap it tight. So you wrap it tight around your router. Now, if you're going to plan on using one of these for your routers, you may want to get 2 of the Nephilim liners because that way you can put one on the top, one on the bottom, then you can wrap it. In the meantime, we're also going to work on a prototype for a router sleeve that'll just go right over the router, as well as smart meters, one that'll go right over the smart meter. Now, if you have it too close, if it's too close though, and if it's so secure, then you're not going to get any signal. So you just have to use discernment. Or you can turn the Wi-Fi off. Yeah, but I mean, that's too easy. Who's going to do that? So Put some shungite on the hats. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, like an elastic type thing. You put your liner on top of your wife's router, True Helper. Great idea. Great idea. Plastic bands. Absolutely. Oh, for the ladies out there, you might want, I've read a couple comments in here. For the ladies, they might want some type of like bra with the EMF protective liners. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Someone says cut in half on the sound. Oh, yes, I am emitting an EMF frequency. And actually, that's one thing that I want to let you know also, that it said here in the EMF field test when doing the tests. I want to read this to you real quick because it said something about yeah, so the instrument readings are varying. Make sure your fingers are clear of the antenna. Modern signals, pulse and peak signals are not consistent. The instrument is sensitive and picks up these variations. Regular high blips every few seconds may be due to a rotating radar transmitter or a Wi-Fi signal. It also says you need to be you need to keep it a specific distance from yourself. It said a certain amount. Okay, yeah, there's a certain distance you need to keep it from yourself also. But I just thought this was really interesting to look at these, what they say is considered safe in these studies, and then what the telecommunication companies tell you is safe. Anything you can do to help yourself if you have that opportunity, why not? Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Some of the stuff that's coming in the comment section. You just gotta be in the comment section here. Okay, so I've got a show coming up in 30 minutes, and I do not know much about the topic that we're going to discuss. So it's very interesting, and I'm taking it with a grain of salt, very much so. I mean, I also think it's something that's going to bring a lot of, it's going to be a good mind meld. It's going to be a great LARP session. It's going to be a fantastic live action role-playing session. You remember games back in the day? What's that game they used to call, or they still call it? Capture the Flag. Well, what if Earth is basically a game? To some, anyway. See you in 30 minutes. Be excellent to each other. Hit the subscribe button. If you're interested in our products, tinfoilcap.co. Be excellent to each other. Be the change you want to see.